and I worked with variety of frameworks which include Selenium WebDriver, Cucumber, TestNG, JUnits, Cypress IO, and etc. So quite a lot is available for me in this 11 plus years, and I worked with a lot of clients which includes Verizon, Standard Chartered, and Emirates NBD, Binance, and so on. So I've been also as a corporate trainer, like part-time and full-time corporate trainer for around like 6 7 years. It's close to 7 years now. So I've been working with a lot of institutes lately, and currently I'm associated with Isha Training. So I hope you all have been as part of enrolled as part of Isha Training. So let's get started and to the main topic. Okay, so before we go to the main topic, can I have something from you guys, like what type of audience you are into? Like, may I know, like, say, how many people are into like testing, or like move to testing from manual, or like say a developer who wants to have a knowledge on Cypress and these kind of things? Quickly, can you put it on the chat? Okay, so Ashok said he's from testing background. So good to know, Ashok. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for attending. So any other volunteers you can share? You can share it up. Yeah, testing, testing. Okay, Ravi's testing, Kirti's testing. Okay, Rohit is as well testing. Okay, so good to know. Okay, fine, no problem. So most people are from testing, four peoples. So how about testing? Your guys are manual or already into automation with Selenium or Playwright, and then you want to have a knowledge on Cypress, or how is it? So oh, okay. Mahavir is like manual testing with 3 years experience. Okay, so good to know. Okay, so Ashok is with Selenium. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, fine, fine, no problem. Okay, that's fine. It's good to know you all guys. And to start it off, like Cypress. So what is Cypress is about? So basically, Cypress is about a front-end automation tool for web applications. So you can see it is completely for your web applications. Okay, and it's a front end automation tool. So when I say front end, it's going to be like an automation tool which is used to automate any UI stuffs available. So UI in the sense, like say front end, or you can call it as a UI, or UI is nothing but your user interface. Okay, user interface automation, and it can automate web application as well as your API as well. So quite predominantly in our industry, you can see web and API are been dominating the industry for quite some time. So even though mobile application are more predominantly used, because an easily accessible one would be a web application. So in anywhere in the mobile, or in your desktop, or in your laptop, anywhere you can access your web application. So that makes us a more stronger competitor when compared to your mobile application. And also, like say when you say mobile application, so sorry, your web application nowadays, like what happens is, like say what happens to the API. So before going to the front end, what type of filtrations that I can do as part of where application testing. So that is where the API testing comes into picture, like say where you can test your application before even it becomes a UI. So that is the main purpose of your API automation. So inside your API automation, it's going to be like say quite interesting one, and it's going to be quite easy one. So it is not something like rest assured that you have seen, or it's like not like a postman that you have used or something like that. It's going to be integrated along with your Cypress. So Cypress has the integration of both web application and your API application together, and most importantly, your Cypress is nothing but your open source tool. Okay, so did anyone hear about Cypress as a cloud tool by any chance? Okay, did anyone do an R&D before you came over here?
Yeah, I
Okay,
heard that
no.
it is. It's available for paid version
Yep,
for the
yep,
cloud.
yep, yep. Yeah, thanks, Deepak. Yeah, that's correct actually. So, a lot of people might have heard only about the free source of it, but there are many advantages when you enroll for a cloud. But most probably in all the organization, they don't use the cloud due to the security and compliance issue. But in case if you want to use it, there is a paid version as well with the cloud, which has a lot more advantages when compared to the free versions. So obviously they are a company and they need to be benefited, so that's the reason they have a paid version as well. But due to the security and other things, like they are not that much trustable. Okay, because people trust Microsoft and AWS more than a private cloud. So that is how it is about. But in case if you want to use your cloud version as well, so you can very well use it up. So there are some free resource as well for your cloud as well. So it's not always a paid feature, everything comes in the cloud. So some are free versions available. So at the end of the session, maybe when the course is getting completed, we'll touch base on few of the things inside the cloud as well. So how does it work and stuff, because those, it is not a mandatory to learn, it's an optional one and it's always good to have it. Okay, so it's not a mandatory one, so take it into consideration, because whenever you go to an organization, they don't put all your things into some cloud mission, because there is information and security and data breach, so they are more concerned on that. So it is always good to know, but it's not a mandatory. So that's one thing over here. So now going to the slide back, so most probably just reiterating, automate the web application and the API as well. Okay, so API as well. And also the latest version we are going to use about is 13.x.x. So the current version, how can you check the current version of your Cypress? So just go to your google.com over here. So google.com and then say type for like say Cypress version, or like say version doc. Yeah, so I previously searched it. So this is where the latest version and what is the benefit and what fixes they have did, everything will be available. So we'll be using only the latest version, and this is a link for it. So kindly just have a bookmark on your web browser, it will be useful. And it's a quite interesting community, they have it entirely, which keeps us engaging all the time. Your Cypress community, I mean. Okay, so let me minimize this one. Okay, okay, so this is the one. Okay, and you can see like say coding languages supported by your Cypress will be your JavaScript and your TypeScript. So that is the programming language we need to have an understanding. Again, here also there is one class, I'll tell you about the class. But is anybody in this chat or in this meeting have an understanding of JavaScript and TypeScript or any programming languages? If you have JavaScript, please type JavaScript. If you have like say Java or C sharp, just type it out. Just a quick one. Okay, so Deepak knows Java. Okay, that's really great. Yeah. So maybe how about others? Maybe two, three people. Like say how you can, how well, even if you don't have coding knowledge, it's totally fine, no problem. So we are all here for just to learn and interact. And it's good to know, like if you don't know, like it will be easy for me to approach on that perspective. So even if you don't have any programming language experience, like please put like say no experience or something,
Hi
because
Arvind. Hi Arvind. Actually, I'm not getting the chat. That is actually going as private chat.
oh, is it? Okay, so let me
I am
ping it
yes,
maybe.
Arvind, I am also not getting the
Ah,
chat.
okay, 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 got it. Sorry. Yeah, now I think it will be coming in. Yeah. So is it working now? I think like Deepak is saying Java, Ashok is JavaScript as well. Okay, that's great. And Arya is a little understanding of JS, but hardly used it. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So now it's visible, right? All the chats, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so no problem. Yeah, thanks for all your comments. Yeah, it's really good to know like people know Java a lot and JavaScript with Ashok. Yeah, it's good to hear like you know JavaScript. And one thing that I need to make clear about Cypress is like say JavaScript is required in Cypress only to clear your interviews, not to directly use any feature inside your Cypress. Simple as it is. So you might ask, like, say, then why we need to know about JavaScript or TypeScript? So actually, the language supports both the things. Sorry, the Cypress supports both the languages, but if you see or like say when we go into the course perspective, if you see will I use the JavaScript as in how I use Java in Selenium, when you compare it like that, basically we don't use. The simple answer would be like say Cypress will not use JavaScript directly, but indirectly it uses. Okay, so why we need to learn JavaScript is like say just to understand the programming language, or it is basically a scripting language, like say how it works and what are the features available and how you can implement that feature inside your Cypress. But as it is, we are not going to use your JavaScript directly inside your Cypress, so it will never happen, don't worry about it. Okay, because like say whenever you go for an interview, so a lot of people will ask like say to test your analytical skills and how your programming skills are there, so they might give you something in JavaScript to know or to understand themselves how good you are in scripting and JavaScript. So that is the main reason, main goal of JavaScript being taught in our syllabus. But apart from that, when you go to Cypress, you won't be using 100% of JavaScript inside your Cypress, because Cypress itself has a built-in feature to make it independently run without any JavaScript interaction, because underlying scripts will be obviously JavaScripts, but you don't need to use it directly. That is how the interaction between your Cypress and your JavaScript will be working. So you need to have an understanding of JavaScript, and how you need to understand is like say if a program is given, I should be able to write it at that level, and also like what analytical ways I can identify in order to run that script. So this is the level of understanding we require from the JavaScript, and that is the level of expectation that is set from a interview perspective, like how you can use it up. But nevertheless, if you learn JavaScript, you're going to be the topmost. So because that is the second most popular language that has been used in 2023 so far, the first thing is going to be like say Python, and your second thing is going to be your JavaScript, and then only your Java or C sharp or anything comes into picture. So if you know your JavaScript, it is a good tick mark if you are well versed in it. So that also we'll be teaching it, but we are not touch basing the TypeScript, because I know little bit TypeScript, not the entire one. Okay, so that's the thing actually. But your Cypress can work on both. So in case in your interviews, if they ask like JavaScript is the only language for Cypress, absolutely no. So we have like say JavaScript and TypeScript as well. So both the languages will be using it up. Okay. So this is a short introduction about itself, and where you can search about your release versions or the current release of Cypress. I pinged you a link. Just kindly note it down. And since it's going to be an introductory session, so we need to have some understanding how does your Cypress differs from that of your other competitors, and or like say to who are the competitors for your Cypress. So your Cypress competitors are going to be like say in any website if you go, or any YouTube channels you go, like there are only two competitors available, or I would say one: Playwright. Okay, so Playwright is part of your Microsoft organization. It was created as a competitor for your Cypress, and Cypress was developed by Angular and React application developers. So that is the segregation. And Selenium altogether, it's a different level. So it can accommodate in any language, anything it can be used for. And it is still, it was quite dominant for around like 10 years, I think, down the lane. But now it has some competitors in the name of Cypress and your Playwright. Okay. So just a minute. I think someone unmuted. Maybe can you go on mute if you don't mind? If you don't have any questions. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is going to be like say your Cypress or your Playwright. So what's going to be your Cypress or your Playwright and your Selenium? So all the three things are open source, simple as it is. And the language supported in Cypress, as I told you in the previous slide, is going to be JavaScript or your TypeScript. And your Playwright will support almost all languages similar to that of Selenium. And Selenium, as many people know, it's been a king of automation for some time, but now lately it has a lot of competition available in an industry. So thanks to the application that has been developed on Angular and your React. So whenever you have an application which is developed on Angular and React, the first preference people go with only your Cypress, because Cypress were purely developed for your Angular and React applications, and then only comes your competitor Playwright, and then comes your Selenium. And also some people might have heard about something like Selenium has been integrated with WebDriver IO. Okay, so that also I'm just referring to, but nonetheless, like for any Angular or React, I would say like Cypress is a very well fit item. And if you ask like say what that is the latest one, it's fine. So what about the legacy application? So legacy application in the sense one has been built on C++ or Java, or it can be C sharp or any language, still it supports, your Cypress will be supporting it. Okay, so don't worry about it. So it has some compatibility things that it can make newer application and older application to work. And next thing is like say what is the tool that we are going to use. If it's going to be Cypress, VS Code is an easy one. And Playwright, again you can use VS Code, IntelliJ, Eclipse I'm not sure, but IntelliJ you can use it. And Selenium, as usual, Eclipse or IntelliJ, we can use it. And installation, if you see, Cypress and Playwright will be more or less the same. We need the node and npm. So node and npm is kind of a server, so with that only we can use it up. And framework in the sense like say, so what are the predefined frameworks available in Cypress? So Cypress basically is built upon Mocha and Chai framework, which was part of a protractor. Okay, or sometimes people will call it as a jasmine. So these two things made use of the Mocha and Chai, but they didn't succeed much. They had a little bit problems, their own problems as well. So that's where in Cypress came into picture, and it was developed as part of Mocha and Chai. Okay, and Playwright, actually it is also a part of Mocho, we have it up, but just Jasmine and VI test we have it up as part of Playwright. And Selenium, we have like quite a lot of range of frameworks, like depending upon the programming language. So if it's going to be Java, TestNG, JUnit, C sharp, it's going to be NUnit. And JavaScript, it's going to be Protractor or Jasmine, and Python is going to be like your PyTest. So depending upon programming languages, they have their own frameworks available. And next main thing is like say browser support. So browser support is nothing but like say you can have a wide variety of browser supports. Like Cypress will support Firefox, Chrome, and Electron. Electron is nothing but it's a native browser of your Cypress, and also it supports your Safari or Edge. Okay, and Playwright again it supports everything the same, and Selenium as well is the same. So when you see the competitor and Selenium or Cypress with other competitors, everything is going to be like say a similar thing. Just based on the application alone, we need to define or we need to choose which we are going to use it up. Okay, so based on application, based on the updates available for each tool, and how robust is the tool about, based on that also we need to define which one we are going to choose it. But blindly, if it's going to be a React or Angular, you can go for your Cypress. Okay, so any doubt till here so far till now? Maybe we saw a lot of things in this 20 minutes. So any doubts you have so far? Maybe you can unmute yourself or you can post it in the chat as well, whether it's in the WhatsApp or go to meeting, anything is fine. So I'll pause for a minute and let me know. Okay. So I think everyone is clear, or like say you have some doubts. Any doubts it can be, no problem.
Yeah, Arvind, how about job market for, should we
Yeah,
go with
yeah. Mhm.
Cypress or Playwright or Selenium? Because it's depend on job openings for which tool is currently.
Okay, okay. Good question. Like job opening, I would say, like say, both has an equal one. So to be really frank, both has an very equal opportunities. But when you see, like say, Selenium, it's a age-old one. So now people started to move out of Selenium and slowly come towards, lean towards your Cypress. So most of the Western countries you see, like say, whoever uses your Angular or React application to develop it, they mostly use Cypress. So it's going to be a easy one, Cypress, not as difficult or as much of coding that is required from the coding perspective when compared to your Selenium. Because Selenium, everything you need to write, but for Cypress, it's going to be like a single line. Okay, so that is how it will be existing it out. But market perspective, if you see, like say, I would rate, like say, uh, depending upon the industry, Cypress will come now first, then to your Playwright, and then to your Selenium, because Selenium has been pushed back due to the Angular and React applications. And it's not like say we can't say it's completely pushed back, but everything is like on a margin actually. So if you go to, maybe let me show the statistics as well. Cypress was Selenium was Playwright. Okay. Okay. So mostly you could have seen, like say, Cyprus will be a little upper hand over other languages actually. So you can see over here. So this is how it is. Okay. So the orange one is your Cypress and your blue one is your Playwright, and Puppeteer is one more thing, and then the green one would be like say WebDriver IO. That means your Selenium with WebDriver IO actually. So Cypress is like quite good in the market currently actually. So a lot of people have started to use it up and they have started to experiment the features. So obviously the job market also would be quite good when compared to other things.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So this is.
And
Mm,
yeah,
yes.
hi, Ashok here. So, are we going to cover like API testing as well in this course and with CI/CD?
Yes, we'll be covering that one as well. So when Cypress comes into picture, like say we'll be seeing two concepts with respect to the API. One is like cy.intercept, so interception concept we'll be seeing it, and exclusively we'll be seeing about how to test your get method, post method, and put, delete, and patch as well. So all these things will be testing as part of API testing. Yes. But authorization or authentication, we can't do it unfortunately because we don't have any open source API which implements it. Actually, only the basic authentication we'll be able to check it out.
Okay. So, and what is the exact duration of this course?
Yeah, so the duration will be like anywhere between 25 to 30 hours actually. So it might little extend as well. So but
Okay.
not beyond like say 32 hours or something, because it depends upon the group that we are into and what is the level of understanding we come into it. But maximum we give around like say 32 hours actually, because it's a very easy tool, so you don't need to put much of efforts actually. But if you're going to be new to the application, sorry, new to the tool, so you need to also give some efforts actually. So always a one way communication doesn't work actually in automation as it is, because if it's a manual I can understand like say the one way is fine actually, but for automation, so you also need to put some efforts in order to come up with different scenarios actually, because you are also working and I'm also working actually, so we might face different scenarios. So it is always good to come up with scenarios on how to handle it up. So that would be really helpful for the session and also like interaction wise as well, so that you'll also be more engaged and it will help you a lot in the future. Yeah. So to answer that, the duration will be max 32 hours actually. So 32 to 35 max at the most, when we try to have some more clarifications and doubts and if it goes on. Yeah. So any more doubts? Maybe one or two I can take it up. If not, we can push the Q&A to the last. Okay. Yeah, thanks for your questions. Now coming back to the slide actually. Over here, what happens over here, like say installation process. So basically let's check about the installation process. So installation process for your Cypress is a very easy task. It's not going to be a tough one. So first we need to have your Node.js. So that's going to be a prerequisites. So whether it's going to be your Windows machine or Mac machine or Linux, it doesn't matter for Cypress to run it up. So it is compatible across all the machines. So there is no specific criteria to use it up. Okay, so this is how it basically works. And Node.js is the server part. We need to download it up. So it's a simple one. So when you go to google.com, again we'll see this installation. Don't worry about it. So we have something like Node.js download over here. So if you click on this download, sorry, you see a variety of versions available over here. I would suggest you to go for the LTS latest stable version. So don't go for the current version, because it might have some experimental features which might hinder your process, or it might result in an error. So this is the page that you will be using it for your Node.js. So let me ping it over here to you. Yeah. So no experience in Java, Kirti. Okay, fine, thank you. Java, okay. So Java is not required. Basically, JavaScript is required. Sorry, I'm just reading the chats now. Sorry about that. And Ashok, we are going to learn API and UI in the course with CI/CD. Yeah, CI/CD we'll learn actually. CI/CD we'll be learning it with the Jenkins actually. So we'll be using Jenkins, and also we'll be using the in Jenkins we'll try to create a job and we'll run our Cypress project inside the Jenkins. And also like another part will be like say for the Docker. Jenkins run, yes, yes, Kishore, we'll be doing the Jenkins run for the Cypress. Yeah, we'll be doing that, and also we'll be doing about Docker as well. So Docker, we are not going to go in depth, but how to run, how to create an image, and how to run your Cypress on the Docker. So only on that level we are going to use it up, because obviously when it comes to Jenkins or your Docker, the role is going to be a DevOps engineer. Okay, so they'll be taking care of it. So we need to stick on to the testing. So that's the reason like we have limited it up. Okay, so in Jenkins, definitely yes, Kishore, we'll be learning it to create a job and run our Cypress framework on it, and the same thing we'll be using it in the Docker as well. So in the Docker, we'll be creating an image and running our code inside the image. So that also we'll be checking it out. Okay. So just moving to the next part in our slide actually over here. So these are the commands that are used to install your Cypress. Okay, so don't worry about it. We'll again have a revisit on that. But just to give you an idea, so it's not like a Java that you need to add the library files. It is basically a commands that we pass it. So what are these commands is nothing but your Node.js commands. So these Node.js commands need to be executed inside the project folder where you're going to set up your Cypress, and then only it pulls in everything. Okay, so we'll see about this, don't worry. And this is the architecture part of it. So how does your Cypress will work? So basically Cypress needs a Node.js mandatorily. So without Node.js, it's, sorry, my voice broke out. Without Node.js, basically it will not be able to run your Cypress. So we need to have a Node.js, and inside that we have a Cypress, and we have a proxy server, operating system, and then a web application. Okay, and also like say how the interaction happens is like this is how it happens. So you begin the proxy from the browser, it just interacts it with the help of WebSocket. So it takes the Cypress test, put it sorry, it takes the Cypress over here, and in the browser naturally it executes. And what happens over here, why specifically I have given your HTTP request and response is like it's not about your API testing. So basically your Cypress works with the underlying API of the application. So that's the reason always whenever there is a request there is a response. Okay, so two models basically you can have it with the Cypress. One is like synchronous and another one is like asynchronous. So when you say synchronous, that means like say I post a request, that means I fill a form and I submit it, and immediately I expect a response back. That means my record has been inserted into the portal. So if there is no immediate response, we call it as your asynchronous. So inside your asynchronous, what happens is like say we post it and then we wait for a certain amount of time and check for the particular request whether it has been successful or not. So basically this is how your Cypress will work. It works on an asynchronous manner. So it doesn't work in a synchronous manner, because when you click on a button, if something is getting delayed or your application is not responding at that point of time, it needs a default wait time. So that is being provided by your Cypress. So that is the main reason like most of the people has migrated from your Selenium to Cypress. And this is the overall architecture of your Cypress. Okay. And what are the things that we are going to see it, or interactions that we are going to see it as part of Cypress? Text boxes, check boxes, radio button, table validation, drop down, window handling, or I would say instead of window handling, it's going to be window tab handling. Okay. And then alerts and pop-ups scrolling within a page, iframe, file upload, and download as well. So these are the UI elements that are available that we can inspect it out. Okay, or we can check it out. When we want to check all these things, right, interactions with the element. So how an element is identified? So element is nothing but all your checkbox, radio button, everything will be a element. Sorry. So how does it interact is like say basically we need to have some locator strategies. So if you have been part of Selenium, you might have heard about XPaths and CSS selectors or any tool. Okay, so we are also going to use the same XPaths and CSS selectors. And just to put a question to you, so does Cypress support XPath? Any random guesses?
I think
And
it
go
should
to
support XPath. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone? Okay. Deepak said no. Shravani said no. Only CSS. Okay. Maybe let's wait for a couple of more answer. Okay. RS said no. Yes. Okay. The thing is like say Cypress will support XPath. Simple as it is. But there is a catch. Cypress will support CSS selector by nature. Okay. But it can support XPath by installing a plugin. Simple as it is. Yes. Deepak Rajput was right. With integrate with the plugin, it will support your XPath. So you need to integrate it with the plugin so that all the features of Cypress will be or can be used. Because by nature, your Cypress will support only your CSS selector. Only when you try to install the plugin, then only you get the XPath support. So let's see what is that plugin available quickly. So if you see it over here, so you can go to like say Cypress plugin. So over here, this is the URL actually. Okay. So Control F XPath. So you can see this is the official XPath plugin for your Cypress. Okay. So let me ping you this one. This is how your XPath can be integrated. Simple as it is. Okay. Now it's fine. So let's move on to a different topic now. So how the validation will happen. So we have like say three keywords should and expect. And this is one piece of code that how a validation will or validation that you can experiment. Okay. And going back to the logs. So usually all the logs are written like cy.log and then we implement it out. Okay. So next one is like say when you say the structure of your or the project structure of your Cypress, so it usually has like packet.json. So that is one file available inside your Cypress, which is created when you give like say npm init. So basically it usually located in the project root. It is commonly located in the root directory of your Node.js project. Okay, the file holds all the applicable metadata necessary for the project. So the metadata in the sense all your dependencies will be inside your packet.json. So it gives all information to the npm and helps in identifying the project and handle the dependencies. So packet.json comprises a major portion or like say it is kind like say your JavaScript doesn't work without that. Simple as it is. Okay. And let us also check about couple of JavaScript items. Just I'm setting you the expectations. Okay. Okay, locators are there. We just covered touch based a bit. Yeah, these are the Cypress terminologies. Packet.json. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so this is a simple Cypress project actually. So as you can see it over here, you have the packet.json available. So whatever dependencies I'm going to install, so it will be available over here. If you want the main repository or the data from which it interacts, it will be having the link at over here, but it's not here, but I can give it over there. Okay. Okay, it's not there. No problem. We'll just see it when we come into the session. Okay. But these are the dependencies available. So other things like say you don't need to take care of it. When we come to the point where we need to check, at that point we'll be checking it. But this is the structure of it. You have an end-to-end file, and you have a fixture, you have a support, you have the node modules, any node modules it will be available, and these are the configurations. So whenever if you want to change how your test case should run, so this configuration part will be helping you out. So whenever you have like say uh, any dependencies installed, so it will be available in package log JSON as well. So you can see it over here. Let me give it as a XPath. Okay, XPath is not there. No, no, no. Let me give it as a Cypress itself. Okay. You can see Cypress is available. The same thing in packet.json also it will be available. And if you check about the integration part of it, so whether Cypress can be integrated with Cucumber, definitely it can do. So we'll also be covering that particular part as well. So how the integration will work. Okay, so that is also our job. We'll be taking care of how it will be installable and how it works over there inside your Cypress. And after that, we move towards your Jenkins and CI/CD part. Okay. So it is just the starting session for today, the first session. So these are the things that we are going to do about. So in case if you have any doubt, just kindly let me know. We can clarify it now. So any doubt here so far, like for the course detail and stuff, like we'll be having it. Just a minute, let me project this screen. Yeah, you can quietly reach out to Kumar actually for the class schedules and other things. So any doubt over here, anything that we want to discuss it out because we are in a bigger group, so that's the reason I'm asking. Okay, reporting, what do we use? So good question. For reporting, we have something called a Mocha Awesome Reporter, some reporter available. So we'll be integrating it. Okay, so let me give the plugin for you that as well. So everything over here as a plugin only. So let's see it up. How does a plugin available? So we'll be touch basing everything inside this particular concept. We'll be seeing the in-depth concepts actually. Much awesome. Yeah, this is the reporter that I was talking to you about. So this is the reporting part. But again, still you can integrate your extent report or any kind of reports that you require it up. But we'll be using this default Mocha Awesome reporter for reporting it. So any other doubt here so far till now?
Yeah, hi Balaji, Harsh
Yes,
here.
sir.
Uh,
Yeah,
I have one
yes.
query.
One at a time,
Yeah,
please. Yeah,
yeah. I have one query. As you
yeah.
mentioned, this plugins, no, like we can integrate Cypress with
Mm.
other tools. Is this is there is any plugin that is available like Cypress to integrate with K6? K6 is
Load
also
testing, you mean? Load testing, you mean?
yes, yeah, load testing. Yeah, that one.
I don't think so. Anything is available so far for K6
Okay, okay.
because that's a
I mean,
separate tool actually.
yeah, yeah. Like what I mean is like we have this web form, right? Any data that I'm saving on the web, like say in Cypress, if it is built in a JavaScript, I'm filling a form and I'm saving it. And when I save it, can I parse it through a API like a JSON payload in the backend? And there I can fetch it. No, that part I can know how to fetch it from an API. But the only thing is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
through Cypress,
Mm.
yeah, is it feasible that whatever the detail, no, what I am like say a customer is filling, I can parse it to a API and can expose it like later on. That that one.
Yeah, for the API perspective, yes, definitely you can do. But integrating both together, I don't see anything is available.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And one more question, like Balaji on the Cypress side, like normally as I what I understand, like for knowing the like for doing the coding in this Cypress, right? Mainly we should be knowing the JavaScript. But apart from the JavaScript, like when you say about on the server side, like where
Mm.
like it's whether it's a Node.js, no, or like or any other technology. So is it like one person should be knowing some part of Node.js or jQuery is also needed from the front end also in this, like working in Cypress? I don't have a background of Cypress, but just know because
Mhm.
JavaScript has the jQuery also, and then on the server side also the entire like when we are hitting the transaction, right? So React like
Mhm.
this Node.js comes in picture. So do we need to have some knowledge on the Node.js also, like just for automating using Cypress, like
No,
this one?
actually, you don't require it. Yeah, Node.js experience is not that much required because we are just going to use install command and that's it. Nothing more we are going to do with the Node.js.
Okay,
But
okay.
we need to have a good understanding of Java because sometimes JavaScript has a lot of method types available. Like it has around like 5, 6 types available. So when something comes inside the script as like a different format, then you need to be able to understand it as a function or a method so that you can able to code it up. Yeah. So only that
Okay.
part you need to have an understanding.
Only
Yeah.
JavaScript, right? Not even jQuery is
Yes.
also not right
Not
for
required.
this.
Not required. Yes. Not required.
Okay, because I am mainly a performance guy and I do testing in K6 and K6 I have explored a lot. So it's a JavaScript, but moreover, no, some dynamic element like we have in Selenium where we do a object click, no, getting those, no, from a web page
Mhm.
that becomes challenging. So there, no, I was looking for some Cypress automation there. Anyways, thanks a lot,
Uh,
Balaji. Yes,
yeah, yeah,
this
sure.
one.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So, any other questions?
Hi, Balaji.
Ah,
Hello.
hello. Yes.
Yeah, hi. So you showed like this Cypress Selenium playwright. So how do you decide like which one to use, or it depends on the application?
Yeah, basically, like say, if it's going to be a legacy application, that means an application developed in C Sharp or Java, we can still use Cypress, but preferably for Cypress, it is always an Angular or React application. So Angular or React application, like say, the first thing is like whenever there was a application available, so they developed Cypress basically for these two frameworks, Cypress and React, and then only they extended the support to other things. So the preferences for Cypress will be given to Angular and React, and then only the other languages. Because like if you take Facebook or Google or anything, right? So they use the latest technologies. So that's the reason, like say, Cypress is more into demand and more popular when compared to other Playwright or Selenium, because Selenium natively doesn't support React or Angular. We need to integrate it with WebDriver IO. That means you need to put the jar file over there and then use it up. So which natively supports and easy to use is like say Cypress. And again, Playwright is also a good option, but I wouldn't say it's not a good option, but still it needs certain improvements. Which as a Cypress, it's been more than 5 years. Like people have been using it, and people are more crazy on that, and the community is really good. So the primary thing is like if it's an Angular or React application, I would blindly go for Cypress.
So, first one thing, sir. Why Cypress? Because Playwright also have a good things to meet, better than Cypress. Playwright support like a on multi-tab and
Mhm.
uh, multi-pages, multi-domain, all the things, and
Mhm.
also we can integrate more tool we can integrate with the with the Playwright. So why Cypress?
Yep.
Because Cypress have a some we can say boundary.
Yeah, because that boundary is filled by the cloud environment actually. So that's the only reason. And also, like say, if you see, like say, for debugging purposes. So if you are using an application and if you want to use it as a debugging, and when you see Selenium, right? If you run the script and it goes there, stop somewhere, and you need to rewrite the script again to run it back. And the same thing applies with the playwright, but Cypress is not like that. It has its own runner. So when I say own runner means you don't need to start the browser again. So on the go, if you start to write it up, write the scripts. That means on the go you write the scripts, it implements it. So it makes our life more easier. And when you compare the scripts, right? How big is the script when compared to Playwright and Cypress? Cypress will be a one-liner, Playwright will be a two-liner, and Selenium will be a five-liner. So that is how the hierarchy goes. So whichever is easy to use it up, people adapt more. So that is the main reason, and why we use Cypress when compared to Playwright. So there is a quite a lot of flexibility. And another thing is like Microsoft product. Playwright is basically a Microsoft product. So their history of products is are not that good except for the Azure cloud. So there is a trust issue as well. Whereas Cypress, it's been more than 5 years, and there is a lot of support communities available, and all these stuffs contribute towards the usage of it.
Again, Balaji, one question from my side. In this course, like this Cypress integration, we are going to cover, right, with Jenkins, no, the pipelining thing, like automation of running through a automated pipeline. This one.
Yes, yeah, we don't create a pipeline actually, exact pipeline, because again, if you go for a pipeline, it should be always in a cloud actually nowadays, like either it's going to be an Azure or AWS, but instead we are going to use a Jenkins. We are going to create a job and use the Cypress project with Git inside the Jenkins and run the script over there in the Jenkins. That means the Jenkins runs on your local machine, and from the local machine, it works it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And that would be a kind of a freestyle, no? Or it would be like
Freestyle
a
project. Yes, exactly, exactly. It's a
not
freestyle.
recorded in 2 weeks. Okay, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Okay.
what framework you are integrating with the Cypress? Like a page object means like other framework.
Cucumber. We use the Cucumber over here. We use two frameworks. One is like page object model with Cypress, and also page object model, Cucumber, and Cypress. These three things we use it up.
Yes, sir, but actually, mostly interview are given where they are asking for the integrate with the different kinds of framework with the Cypress because I have also work on the page object model, not on the other framework.
Okay. So what they are expecting? What they was expecting? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Selenium, which they have like a PDD, which some kind of framework we set up. But actually, in Cypress, we use only page object and picture and text file only.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
they are asking like a guest framework, is Jasmine. I don't know, but they are asking for the different kind of framework.
There are different options actually. So it depends. So that's why like we have used the Cucumber framework with Cypress. So it depends on project to project. So again, like say if you bring up a framework, like it's fine. Like we can use it up. We can customize it. No issues.
So, sir, should RP start from the Cypress and JavaScript? Actually, somebody don't have a good knowledge in Java.
Yeah, yeah,
JavaScript.
we do have like a starter kind of starter to intermediary. We have that particular item for JavaScript. So we'll be walking through that one as well. JavaScript from basics to intermediary level. So did that clarify?
Yes, from my side, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay then, maybe let's meet up again tomorrow. So tomorrow again we'll be starting up with I'll be showing you a basic script how a Cypress will be running it up, how to set it up and stuff, and then slowly we move towards your JavaScript actually. So tomorrow we'll be seeing about how to run your Cypress. So what is the configuration file and stuffs, and then we'll move towards your JavaScript. Okay. So again, thanks for attending the session. So just stick on to the WhatsApp group. So and then we'll give the updates. Yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for attending. Have a great evening and see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.